I guess we're live. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday afternoon? Good to see everybody's name popping up. Y'all, thanks for making this what it is. One of the high points of my week. And last week I was in Ohio. All of that. I keep thinking, oh, that was my favorite part. We'll talk more about that, but it was a good week at the store, the mothership. Got to meet so many great people. I love the leathercraft community. And if I did get to see y'all didn't make it, doesn't matter. We've got some time here. Absolutely. Hope everybody's doing well on a Wednesday. It's a good day to work on leather. And if we can't work on leather, it's a good day to talk about working on leather. We're going to talk because looks like y'all are some of us having the same problem I am. I got 5 projects over there for videos, and I feel like they're all weak. They're all something about each one of them. It could be better or different. And that's on my list of 40 or 50 project ideas. There's no shortage of these in leathercraft. There's no shortage of project ideas. We'll talk about that though. So it sounds like someone's having a little issue trying to get started on the next. But Jerry, sounds like you got a gun belt and a holster coming up. Nice. One of my favorite projects. I'm going to back up here because I want to say hello. Do my best to say hello to everybody. It's not always possible, but Jerry King, good always to talk to you and see your lovely wife, Donna. Maz Cooper, hope you're doing okay. Jim Jenkins in the shop. Y'all, thanks for being here. Don, good to see your name as well. Let's see. All right, Jerry, working on a gun belt and holster, Western. Nice. Don, working on a sporin. We need to do another sporin. Step it up a little bit. Absolutely. Don, I hope that comes out beautifully, and I hope you have a great time working on it. Yeah, Maz, nothing at the moment, trying to decide what is next. Same here. To say all kinds of possibilities. I just don't know which one to pick. And then it's worse because, okay, so let's say we're working on a pouch. All right, going to make a video on a pouch. What shape, what length, width, depth, leather, stamping, spots, hardware, finishes, dye, antique, paint. Oh, and from this end, it's like the video, it's like, it's not true. It's like, okay, I've one shot to make the one that everybody's gonna like the most. And I just get it. It's an obstacle. That's right. That's if you put the syllable in the wrong place. But it can be an issue. And again, it's not in leathercraft, it's not the lack of options. Oh man, it's just an overabundance of possibilities at every single step. We've got little billets. We can decorate the billets, put a braid, a stamp. Ah, okay, back up. And sometimes when I get that, I'm like, okay, what would I like? And typically when I kind of get on that vein, I'm like, okay, now I feel like I can handle it. Now it's right. Anyway, but what a great craft. What great people in this craft. I absolutely. Um, let's see. Okay, Matt Rosendahl. It's good to see your name pop up, Matt. I'm glad you're with us. Come on in. Make yourself at home. You are among some really good people. Let's see. All right, first time watching the live, retired now. Oh, I'm so envious. I talked to our financial advisor. All I have to do is work until lunch on the day of my funeral. I'm going to have a great retirement. Anyway, okay, so I have a question. I own a pool case made of buffalo hide, really? Pool cue case, which I think was chrome tanned. Okay, over time, about 20 years, the snaps are corroding. I assume, yeah, chromes. I don't know if there's a good answer to replace those snaps. I can toss this out, and this is just something I've heard for so long. The rule forever, hard rule, is we don't want to use chromes on holsters or sheaths because they're going to corrode the metals. Well, I've seen a couple of holster makers. I used to sell snaps to one that would order, I don't remember, several thousand snaps a month. You could say he was making some holsters. He lined every holster with suede. So what I understand is that we've got a little better tannage. We've got a little better finish on the materials now or on the metals. So it's not such an issue, but the bigger problem to me is moisture. That's going to be a problem. A gun in a holster or a rifle scabbard, if there's some moisture in there, even with a veg tan, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem to the metal. But Matt, I don't know. Maybe the finishes now might be a little bit better than they were 20 years ago. But my other thought is you got 20 years on that. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Matt, I wish I had a better answer for you. I think I would just replace with whatever, like if it's a line 20, 24, or maybe a segment, I might just come in there and replace those. And I bet they're going to last another 20. We may be surprised. They may go 25 or 30, right? So I would simply say replace them, and maybe 20 years from now replace them again, because it's probably not going to take much time to replace a couple of snaps. Um, Again, Matt, I wish I had a better answer on that, but yeah, the chromes, I love them, absolutely love them. But if they've got any oils or the chroming salts, and it's it's just going to work on metals. It is. My wife has a horse, and I see that in the barn all the time around the hardware on the halters and harness. It's always it's it's corroding. It really is. And I just those are out in the weather though. So Matt, good luck with that, but replace those. I think you'll be happy with them, and I think they'll last a long time. So, um, Mark the Maker is with us. Colleen, y'all, it's good to see you. Oh, and Matt, another point too, and I was going to bring this up. I actually wrote this down. Where's everyone at? Y'all just we've got a map on the fan page, but it's been there forever, and it's probably hard to find. Um, but y'all just drop in where you are. The point here is let's see where we all are, but the bigger point is who knows? We might find somebody that's not far. And my thought behind that was a lot of these shows, they're a little bit of a distance away. Going with two people in a car, that cut our expenses in half, and that would be a lot of fun. So, anyway, if you want to, don't have to, but big point here is join us, drop a good comment in, question, answer, or don't feel like you have to. Just join us, kick back and relax. Let's talk some leather and have a good time with it. We got the best craft going. Let's put a big smile on this. Yeah, because in Ohio, so all right, so over the last Thursday and Friday, I went up to Ohio a week ago yesterday. So I'd have a day before we started the big sale, our anniversary slash makers event. Now it's our third, maybe the second anniversary of our retail store opening, but it's technically our first makers event. Um, and I think just to Miriam and Carmen and Rachel, they nailed it. I mean, they nailed it. It was a great time. As far as I could tell, everything went very smoothly. I tell you what, I just saw some great people and happy people. I taught two classes, smaller classes, 6 and H. Great. Again, it's just like the live. Y'all make the class. Y'all make it fun and talking and joking and laughing and cutting up. I keep saying that's my favorite. I can't show at a show. I like so at the anniversary. So I would go in and I'd work in the store. My classes were 10 to noon. So I'd go into work in the store from 8 to 10. And that's got to be my favorite part because I get to see everybody and we get to talk, take our time. Everybody loves to show me their projects on their phone, and I love that. I love seeing your projects. So much creativity and such beauty. Okay, so that's my favorite part. Well, then teaching the class, a little bit of stress there. But once the class, all that stress is with, did I bring everything? Have I done this class before? Have I got the steps in the right order? Have I got a blah blah? The minute the class starts, what a great thing! One of my favorite things. Okay, so at noon we go out, food truck outside. I get to eat with everyone. Okay, that's one of my favorite things. All right, so back in the store, we did a panel Thursday afternoon. We did a panel, and Jimmy and Jeff, just great people. Just anyway, so that was my favorite thing. Then after that, worked the store a little bit. Then we go to dinner. We had a barbecue dinner Thursday night for everybody. That was my favorite thing because we all get to eat some barbecue together, right? Okay. After that, then we go, everybody goes back to the hotel. At least at our hotel, they have a big gazebo out back. So we all gathered out there. They have one of the fire pits. That was my favorite thing. So kind of along the lines of, I always say this is my favorite leather. Well, there's more than one of my favorites. when I started at Weaver, the big boss, the president, Jason, he said, Chuck, you got to stop calling all these tools your favorite tool. In my defense, they are. Right. But anyway, so it's just all my favorite thing, period. That's the end of it. So, but what a great time. And if you didn't make it, it's a long way for a lot of us, but who knows? If we find somebody close to us, road trip. Oh man, the Waffle House and Amish food. And oh, I think I gained a little weight while I was up there. Hard not to in Amish country, because let me tell you, they can eat. Right. And I always remember this. We used to do a lot of those lines, and see, we broke the tap on food. We're supposed to be talking about leather, but anyway, this is funny. Um, we had a booth, Hardsville Hardware. It was up in Ohio. I think it's the largest privately owned hardware. They have 3 houses in the building, right? So it's a little large. Well, they did for all the exhibitors. They had a long tables down in kind of in the basement, and they provided lunch. The Amish brought in lunch. Um, so you could sit down there and relax and eat a bite. The point is that there were 3 of the long, like 2 foot by 8 foot, the folding plastic tables. Um, on the first table, there was a big bowl of tossed salad and I probably some French bread and crackers. There was a big bowl of spaghetti, which was absolutely delicious. And then that was all that was on the first table, some condiments, blah, blah, forks and spoons. The next 2 tables were pies. Right? There's 1 table for food and 2 tables for pies. Let me tell you, they make a peanut butter cream something. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, go for the pies. If you don't go for anything else, Weaver and the pies. Okay, how about that? But anyway, point is, it was a great time, and I hope everybody that was able to get there feels the same way. So, all right, let's see. Rockfall, Arizona. It rained the other day. I'm glad to hear that. That's good. We've been against just been right. In Ohio, it rained the whole time I was there. It's raining here now. Gonna rain for like the next 10 days, I think. But Arizona, I bet that's a big deal. I'm glad to hear that. Hope you got some good rain out of that. And what I understand, I've spent a little time in the desert, West Texas, but I understand that when rain hits the desert, it explodes in beauty. I bet it does. But I got to tell you, the Prescott show, um, the first morning, I'd never been to Arizona, New Mexico, so we flew in at night. I got in late in the day and went to the hotel, got settled in. I woke up the next morning, opened the window or opened the curtains, strikingly beautiful. I still remember that. It just was gorgeous. Just a painting. Anyway, beautiful state, and good people. Yeah, great people. We ate well. We went to a restaurant in town, and evidently one of the waiters, was a trained opera singer. So when somebody had a birthday, oh boy, they got a beautiful happy birthday. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to talk about leather. That's enough of me, right? So we're going to talk about some leather. We're going to do a giveaway today. This one's from me to you. This is simply from my shop to your shop. And I'll see what all I can get in there, but we'll talk about that here because it'll be 15 after even before I know it. My alarm will go off even before I know it. Let's see, Richard Wattis, Nebraska. Very nice. Let's see, Erica. Hello, Erica. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for jumping in. Christopher Barnes. Hello, Chuck and fellow crafters. Absolutely. Stall Rev, Texarkana, Texas. Stall Rev, I tell you what, I promise you this. I don't know if I'm at Waco this year, but if I am, I'll give you a call. I'll stop in Texarkana and we'll eat a bite of lunch. How about that? I'll promise you we'll do that. Okay, creativity is life. Tim Waxter. Last time we did not have a food montage. Ribs, right? Ribs on the grill. Now everybody's hungry. Right now, everybody's gonna leave and go put something on the grill. Anyway, oh yeah, there you go, Shane. Shane. We ought to use that in an advertising campaign. Come for the leather, stay for the pies. Shane, I'm going to point that one out to Miriam. That's a great one. Now, we also just weirdly at the Sheridan show, the concho punches, the scalloped concho punches. Somebody punched half of one into like a 1.5 inch strap. It's already 3:15. Anyway, it looked just like somebody had taken a bite out of that strap, so I said, "I doubt they'll use it," but I sent a picture of that to Miriam and said, "Take a bite out of leather? Wouldn't that be a great campaign?" Anyway, Shane, that's a good one. Thank you for that one. Very cool. Let's see, Kelsey James. It's been a long time since I've been to Buckeye. Let's see, I used to live in Tempe. Nice, okay. Oh, Bridget Benson. Of course, your name popped up right there. Very nice. Um, okay, that name that um oh, sorry, I hit go to the bottom. Great. Well, this is going very well. Okay. All right, before we go anywhere, before I forget and wander off into the woods and we don't come back, we're gonna do a giveaway. Let me get over to the right page here. I don't know why I write a script. And we need to come back to this. Okay, so we're going to do a giveaway today. This is from me. This is simply from me to you. So contiguous US only. And I hate saying that. I hate saying that because we have so many friends that are not just here in the US, but it's on my bill. So, all right. So we're going to do some remnants again. Let's see how this goes over. And I'm going to find some very cool stuff to toss in there. I got some stuff in here that I've been looking at over the last couple of days since I got back thinking, ooh, that would be nice to toss into a remnant pack. All right, the word is scraps. I'm not going to make you write out remnant. How about just scraps? Okay, so scraps to enter. And if you want to, whoever wins, we'll see if you want veg or chrome or a mix of scraps. But I say scraps. These are not scraps. These are not, I'll get you some nice big pieces of leather. Yeah, definitely some of the prints, some of the Western, some of the floral. I'll do my best to get in some of that really purple and turquoise suede, maybe a piece of that Old West pull up, which is really pretty. See if I get some Shaheen in there. We'll talk about Shaheen because that's our product of the week. It's a big, expensive piece of leather, but we have an alternative for us crafters. We'll talk more about that. But anyway, the word is scraps. That'll get you into the contest at 3:45. Miriam's going to pick a winner. I'll announce that, and then we'll get an email. I'll tell you what all you need to do. And again, oh, and I've got some Fibings stickers because the people at Fibings are so great. Ian, saw Ian at the event in Sheridan, just friendly and kind. Herman Oak, just friendly and kind and talkative. What a great business. It really is. And I equate that to, we used to do the Blade Show. We don't do the Blade Show anymore, but we used to do one. And one of the booths there, because I don't know, it's like 900 booths. I think it's ridiculous. It's a spectacle. Anyway, I stopped by one of the booths because I love their knives. It's a large knife manufacturing company. Those guys would have paid $1,000 to be anywhere else. They were absolutely bored, senseless, and you could tell. And not the attitude to have at a show. It was visible. It was visible. But everybody else was happy to be there. But anyway, okay, so we've got that going. Scraps is the keyword to get in, and we will see if somebody wants some good remnants from my shop. I hope it's a good gift. But again, a good giveaway because I'll toss some stuff in there. And here in the near future, I've got a 10-year anniversary coming up with Weaver. Let's see, that's about 7 weeks out, maybe 7 weeks. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I'll have to look at a calendar. You know my math, right? We've met. But anyway, so we're gonna, for that month, maybe we're gonna do something cool. We'll do some good giveaways, I hope. I'm talking to the boss now. Let's see. Rockfall would love a scrap piece of the Roo. I have some scraps over there, but we lined our biker wallet with that. And I don't know how, it's probably not going to be enough to really be worthwhile to you. And almost on one side, I feel like I'm just passing off stuff from my shop that I'm not going to use and like say, okay, well here, good luck with this. I feel not really. Cause I got, excuse me, I've got some leather in this shop and, if you're new or haven't heard this, um, so when I do a project where I'll order a side of leather, sometimes if it's a big project, like the briefcase or something like that, I'll order 2 sides. So I'll use it, and then I got, like, maybe a side left, side and a half. Well, that kinda gets tucked aside, and I'm a little hesitant to use that again in the near future, right? I wanna change over, go to some other leathers for some other projects, so it kinda tends to sit. So, unlike a production shop where their scraps are little pieces like this that you can't get anything out of, these pieces are good. I'm gonna send you some big pieces. I'll send you some pieces you can work with. And like a lot of the florals, the Western florals, they're so pretty. We used one for the throat and tip on a rifle scabbard. Those go a long way because we typically don't make a whole project. We might like make a throat on a purse or bag or holster or sheath or whatnot. So things like that tend to go a long way with us crafters. So I'll do my best to see if I can't get some good stuff in there. And I've got a couple of other items that aren't remnants, but I'll toss some stuff in there, maybe some fibing stickers and placards and all that good stuff. So anyway, the word there is scraps. Enter that, and I will do my best to have that out tomorrow. I'll do my best to get that on its way to you tomorrow. So anyway, Bob Z, happy early anniversary. Bob, thank you very much. It's 10 years. That's the longest I've ever worked anywhere. It really is by about 3 years. So, almost seems like a different life. It really anyway. Oh, and I look at those early videos and just cringe. Anyway. Oh, Early Murphy. Nice Cranberry side. They're one of my favorite bands, and we lost their lead singer. I think they only did, like, 1 album, maybe? I don't know, I haven't looked, but they have 2 or 3 songs that I absolutely love. I absolutely. Uh, Aminals. Oh, nice one. Came for the leather state for Chuck. Bless your heart. I feel very unworthy, but thank you nonetheless. Comments like that, those go deep. Thank you very much. Uh, oh, Tom Leary. Went to Robin Hood's Medieval Fair in Connecticut. Oh, I bet that's a pretty fair. Oh, man. That's something on my bucket list for retirement is to hit as many rent bearers as I can. Armor, maybe, maybe not, but it depends on the temperature. I've got used to wear that younger days. I could wear that armor all day long. Alcohol, a little involved, not much. Can't do that anymore. I mean, I can, but somewhere mid-afternoon, I'm starting to get a little rough. A little rough. Anyway, I would love to see a Connecticut Ren Fair in Maryland and Rhode Island and Colorado, Minnesota. Oh, anyway, okay. I'll stop rolling on this, but for anybody that hasn't been to a Ren Fair, great family event. It's a good family entertainment. The comedians are great. The entertainment's great. The shops are all small folks like us, making beautiful stuff by hand. You'll see some gorgeous things. Eat a big turkey leg, drink a big glass of mead, listen to some hilarious comedians. Oh, man. Anyway, okay, Bob Z, Corpus Christi. One of the reasons I'm writing all this down or asking for this is next time I'm going to go through this and we'll talk about everybody from everywhere. But at the same time, again, maybe we can find somebody that's close to us. We're lone wolves. And I talk about that regularly. It's like last week. It's so fun to get together with people that speak our language. We can say, a .8 millimeter Ritza, and the average person is not going to have any idea what we're talking about. But another leathercraft will go, oh, I like the .6 millimeter, or I like the 1. Now we're talking to people that speak our language, and that's so much fun. And the ideas, being out in Sheridan, I don't know if this is embarrassing or not, but we were kind of up front towards the doors, and I might have mentioned this last time, but when somebody walks in the doors, I see their project before I see them. I'll see their briefcase. I can spot a beautiful purse from across a crowded room. I don't know who's wearing it. I'll meet them. I want to go see the purse, right? So, does anybody like that? I mean, we can zone in on projects. Um, let's see, Al Chef. Al AI, please forgive me if I mispronounce that. That to me, that's the rudest thing. Doesn't matter. Let's see. What's up, Chuck? I'm new to leatherwork. Love your videos. I'll be at the next one in Ohio. Keep up the great work. Bless your heart. I'll look forward to that because I can't see us not doing this again next year. I think it was a big hit. Smaller. It was our first time, like I said, second time on the anniversary. Of course, Miriam's going to take it's the third time. And don't you know, my boss just, I mean, she's got to watch this live. And 6 times during live, she's just, what now? I can see it. I know it. Make it. How do we keep this guy employed? Sorry. I probably should just send a bottle of Tylenol to my boss for the lives. Anyway, I know it can be frustrating to her and Miriam. I apologize right now. Just one big apology, which also makes me think of let's see, on was it the last Christmas special? We just, one big, oh, it was for the spouses. Yeah. Gift guides for the spouses because they don't, I mean, we can give them a list, but it's always a good idea. Here's what we would like. And I always remember this. Let me just right now that we've got y'all here, all the spouses of leather workers, let's just do one big apology. We know we fill the house with dye fumes. We borrow stuff from the kitchen and we don't return it, or worse, we return it with dye on it, right? Just one big apology from all of us right now. We're sorry, but we're hoping you're getting some good projects. And that's one of the things that the spouse syndrome, Leathercraft spouse syndrome, right? My wife's even talked about getting a group together, spouses of Leathercrafters. Because y'all could probably speak your own language too, right? Yeah, I'm sure there's some things we don't think about, but I hope you're getting some good projects. And I even asked a couple of people last week. I was talking to the Leathercraft husband or the Leathercraft wife, and then asked the spouse, but you're getting some good projects. And they're like, oh yeah, it's definitely worth it. So yeah, there you go. Got to keep, yeah. That's a great piece of advice for folks that are new. Make something for your spouse right off the bat. Oh, you're good from there on. Oh, yeah, there's going to be no questions. Right. Okay, maybe a few. When we buy that big piece of Shaheen, but you're going to get something great out of it, and we're good. Yeah, right. So, anyway, Justin Schiffler. Oh, y'all. Well, okay. Scrap. Nice. That makes me feel good. I feel like it's a worthwhile giveaway. And I'll do my best because when I'm putting stuff together, I'm like, I'm sending them remnants, instead of a nice new piece of I'm sending. So that actually makes me think, okay, let's put some good stuff in here. And I'll find some stuff. Yeah. Anyway, okay. I mentioned enough about that. Let's see. Adriano Bosch, ABC Craft. Nice. How can I finish the flesh side? There's a lot to that. Well, first off, if you've got a good quality tannage, your flesh side should have a nice tight grain. There's a couple, like our 7 to 8 ounce strap sides, they're black. Sometimes I use a lot of it. Sometimes I'll actually edge the backside thinking it's the face. But the second thing, if you've got a really kind of a lower quality tannage, I'm not going to trash anybody by no means, but you can get that fuzz, that tear off, that it just the more you pull, the worse it gets. There's almost nothing you can do about that. Um, what I've done in the past, if I'm a little iffy about my dye, if I'm a little worried that we might have a little dye, a little rub off, I'll hit the back with my Sadillac, or Leather Balm works the same way. Hit it with a good coat and then Leather Balm buff that. You'll get a little bit of gloss at it. Not much on the flesh side, but if it's just got a little bit of that grain sticking up, typically that'll push that down and hold it down because you got some good wax in there. It's going to dry and that'll hold it down. Now, not forever, but it will. It'll make it look good. The best way to go, line it, hands down. And that does so many things to us. Now, if we line it, we sew it, right? So we're going to have to sew that all edges, even if we're not going to gusset like across the throat, purse, or bag. We're going to have to sew that too. But the point is if we add a liner, that does so many things for us. Excuse me. There we go. I know I've been talking too much already today. Boy, I talked 2 days straight last week. My voice is kind of a little bit tired, right? Shooting video this morning. Beside the point, beside the point. But nonetheless, see if any of that helps. See if any of that helps. Um, yeah, okay. Creativity is life. Wishing everyone the best of luck. That's a good point. Good point there. Um, as we get into July, approaching my anniversary, let's see if we can't do a couple. More than one. Let's see if we can do multiple. I'll push for that. I'll push for that. I the boss, she knows I want to give away everything to everybody on the live. Everybody's a winner. Right. Yeah, she won't let me do that. And I also want to give away a 303. Yeah, that met with deafening silence. There wasn't even a laugh on that one. I kind of was kidding. Right. Yeah. So anyway, let's do this real quick because I want to mention this because I don't get a chance to say hello to everybody and mention everybody's name. And I hate that. So 2 weeks from today, that morning, I'll just go through all the comments from last time. And there's so many great comments. I wish I could bring every one of them back up, but also new folks that I didn't get to say hello to or funny comments. Um, I feel strong enough about that I want to bring these up. So Bob Salter, um, hoping you're recovering. Bob, it sounds like it, but I hope you're recovering. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed on that. Uh, and Stephen Trull, big hello right back to our neighbor, Bama. Yeah, we're neighbors and not too far apart. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, which I love. Absolutely. Loved Hee Haw. We brought up the old TV show Hee Haw, right? VR 549. Uh, let's see, 712. Binding some books. Very, very cool. I hope those are absolutely gorgeous. Dawn Green, great tip. And use the cub without thread for places where we're going to hand sew, but the strength of that cub will make a beautiful hole. And then that number 18, 2 18s through that, just glides through there. Dawn, great tip, great tip. And again, last up, everyone that tossed in some great tips, things that tripped us up in the beginning, things that we weren't sure of, those are huge for all the folks that are new to this and for a number of reasons. And I wanted to bring this up because um, here's another one because, and this kind of segues into it. When the newer folks see that the folks that have been at it a long time, we're seasoned, we're experienced, been at it for years and years, we still struggle with certain things. To me, that makes the folks that are new not to get just, stressed and struggling and to maybe possibly walk away from the craft by seeing that the folks that we all had that problem. You're not alone. That's the point I'm getting at. And when people come into my shop, I always tell them, don't worry about making mistakes here because I will bet you can't do anything in this shop that I haven't done twice, right? It's true. It's true. I've made so many mistakes and we're still making them. I'm still making them, but I don't want the new folks, to get stuck on something and they walk away from it. They get frustrated. That's literally the worst thing that can happen. So by bringing these things up, the new folks feel like, you know what? I'm not alone. That's happened. Maybe they saw an answer to that. They nailed it and they moved on and they are well on their way. Um, being discouraged, that's a killer. It really is. And I just don't want the new folks to get discouraged over simple little things that we didn't know in the beginning either. We found a great answer to it and we moved on. Um, but how about this one? And there's two purposes to this. There's 2 points to this. Excuse me. Um, okay, I'll come back because in the back of my mind are the remnants worth, is that a good giveaway? Is it good? All right. Well, Thomas Barrett, bless your heart. Thank you for chiming in here. I won the last Scraps prize. It was great. Thank you. Thomas, thank you for that. That kind of made my day. It kind of made my day I feel like now that's a worthwhile gift, a giveaway. So, um, anyway, all right. So here's our next question. Where do you struggle? And again, this is for two purposes. Again, for the newer folks, they struggle too. They probably are struggling on things that we may have gotten an answer to long time ago and we're moving on. But nonetheless, where do we struggle? The second reason I'm asking this is how about a video? What's a great idea for a video where a lot of us are going to struggle? Maybe I can do a video and maybe I can help out. It may be a place I'm struggling too. And because now I have the pressure of needing to make a video on this to help a lot of folks out, I'm going to research it and experiment and try different options. So who knows what can come out of just simply marking down. I struggle with stamping or with tooling or with dyeing or like me, I struggle with trying to narrow down all the possibilities into that single project so it doesn't look like a garage sale, right? Less is more. Less is more to me. Like I love like a fully tooled briefcase. Wow. I've seen a few and they're spectacular, but I almost feel like there's too much to see. Yeah, for another leather crafter, absolutely. For the standard person, they don't know what all goes into that. All the work and all the planning and the carving and the tooling. They're not going to see that. The, it shows. I mean, I kind of find people are like, "Well, I love it. How much is it?" You know, we go into this, and I'm about to show it. I made this beautiful project. It's a journal cover. I got a little tooling on it, and I hand sewed it. And the people don't, they're like, "Oh, well, that's lovely. Oh, I like that. How much is it?" That's what they're that's that's what they're interested in. But between us crafters, it's a different story. We see what goes into that. So here's the question. What do you struggle with? Where are the points that is it pattern making? Because I see that comment a lot. Um, so the point there is maybe I'll try to help. I'll see if I can help there. If I know what people are struggling with, and you're new folks, don't feel like, oh, that's such a look. No, whatever you're struggling with, I want to help. Everybody here wants to help. We're leather crafters. And again, I'll say it. You might be tired of hearing me say it. If you've got 4 leather crafters in a room, you have 8 opinions of how it should be done. And you're going to hear all of them. You may hear 9, but leather crafters, I don't know what if it's you were breathing a lot of glue or dye or fumes. We're just happy to spread the love that we get from this craft. And I've never seen a craft where people are so happy, not just I'll help, bending over backwards to help out newer folks or folks that are having an issue with all kinds of tricks and tips. Here's what I did. Y'all jump in with all of those. I know you probably hear me get tired. I know. Yeah. It ain't working. It hasn't worked in a long time. Right. Anyway, the mouth runs, the brain tries to catch up. So anyway, um, John Victor, I'm just gonna pretend I'm in the U.S. John, we're maybe we can for the anniversary month. Let's do. Let's see if I can talk the boss into not just the U.S. I would so feel better about that. I would so feel better about that. Let's give everybody an opportunity. I think for that one, that's a special deal. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do that. I'll ask the boss. And of course, she's sitting at her desk going, "Oh, what now?" I know. Anyway, let's see. I'll remember that. So I'm making notes over here, and every time I start the next live, I always go to the last one to look at the notes and see what I need to do. So, and typically they're like, look at the last 20 or 30 comments. They're great. Right. So anyway, all right. Let me see if I can catch up over here because Blue Moon Rose. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. I saw two. Blue Rose Lion. Sorry about that. Julie, it's got to see you up at Sheridan, and what a blast. And I'm sorry we didn't get to spend some time together. It just, the shows are a whirlwind. They absolutely are. But nonetheless, it was great to see you. Absolutely great to see you. Oh, one of the biggest questions, pricing for craft shows. It's hard to figure out what they'll pay for goods without me getting shafted or them feeling overcharged. It's a thin line. Blue Rose line, it's a thin line. It really is. Um, there's no good answer. There's no good answer. Um, I've gone into pricing. I'm I'm hesitant to go into this because it's a big long spiel, and a lot of us have heard this. But let me see if I can at least boil it down. Um, two ways to go. So if it's just a hobby, I might say triple our materials. Now, that doesn't cover hand sewing or carving or stamping because, I mean, we do a small little design, that's an hour and a half. And if we're charging any decent rate, I mean, that project's going to be that little pouch or purse, excuse me, or bag is just going to be ridiculous cost. A leather crafter would see that and go, reasonable price, reasonable. The public is not going to see that. They have no idea what hand tooled. I mean, they kind of have a feel for what hand tooled is, but hand tooling, hand stamping, hand sewing, those take so much time. It's just we struggle to charge for that. So maybe, if it's a hobby, we multiply our materials 2, 3, maybe 4 times because that will keep a project reasonable. All right. On the other side, and I've gone into a lot of this and we got videos on this. If you're wanting to make this into a business, and you can, I saw Tracy Kinney's comment. Chuck, I struggle with wanting to quit my job and do leather work for a living. What a dream. What a dream job. Tracy, you're exactly right. So there's a basic manufacturing equation, and I won't go into huge super links to this, but for every dollar we earn, 30% of that, we're going to back into this. 30% of that is going to go to our labor. 30% of that is going to go to our materials. 30% of that is going to go to our overhead, 10% net profit. All right, your first thought, geez, 10%. So every $100 I sell, I get $10. Yes and no. All right, labor's already in there. So you're paying yourself. So you're getting $30 or $33 out of that 30%. But what you're doing is, excuse me, you're setting yourself up to where when you have to pay rent and advertising and you got to buy a lawyer. Yeah, I'll take that one. Hire a lawyer, not for any bad reasons, just maybe to get your business set up or to get your name legally recognized. There's a number of things a lawyer can do. You can go online and get all this done relatively inexpensively. But also, you got to buy toilet paper and pens and paper clips and staplers and fees. And so you're setting yourself up to pay for that overhead when you feel like you can step out and go live, go real. I wouldn't do it until you've got so much work in that you're struggling. You're not getting sleep, right? Between your day job, your leather job, get some sleep. You'll know when that time is. You'll know when that time is. You got a little money in the bank. You got orders on the horizon. You'll know when that time gets here. So anyway, 30, 30, 30, and 10. That's what you're looking to bill. So I would charge the second half of that is I charge $60 an hour shop time, $1 a minute. Wow, that sounds like a lot of money. I'm making you ain't making $60 an hour. For that 60, now you've got to pay that advertising. And say you've got, say in an 8-hour workday, you're going to work 6 hours making product. Well, now those other 2 hours, you got to do invoices. You got to put this stuff in a box. You got to set up a pickup, or you got to go to the post office. You got to go to, you'll do your runs while you're out. Hit the Office Max store, hit Home Depot, hit the pub. So now that 6 hours, it's got to pay for 8 hours. So it's giveaway time. And that came at a good time because I need to stop talking about that. We've beat that to death. The point is, Blue Rose Lion, there's no good answer. There's really no good answer to that. I wish I could have more for that. Anyway, okay, so let's jump over here because it's giveaway time. Let's see if Miriam, bless her heart, she got caught up in a meeting last time and she sent me a text. I'm so sorry. Not an issue. Not an issue. All right. Oh, this is funny because I just mentioned this. I wish I had some kind of little drum roll or ta-da or. Anyway, Tracy Kinney, congratulations. You are going to get a big box of remnants from me, from my shop to your shop. All right, Tracy, here's what you're going to do. And Miriam's going, can't you remember this? You've done this for 5 years. Can you not remember this? It's another person that's going, really? Anyway, okay. So, Tracy Kinney, here's what you're going to do. Email us at supplyinfo@weaverbrands, brands.com. Now, we'll need your name, your address, and your phone number. And if you want to, just put in, I would like veg tan scraps or chrome tan scraps. And I hate to keep saying scraps, whatever. Or would you like a mix? Because I'll do whatever you want and I'll get you some good stuff. Tracy, very nice. Maybe this will help you just maybe a little bit further along towards quitting that full-time job and going leather full-time. And not to pop your bubble here, but you always say, I want to work for myself. And yes, it's great. There's some downsides. Right? Yeah, because I always used to like to say, when I work for myself, then the guy that I work for is an idiot, and the guy that worked for me is a moron. Anyway, I jokingly said that sometime, and I saw a lady go, she didn't know I worked for myself. When I explained that I work for myself, she thought that was funny. Anyway, here's where I'm going with this. Okay, you don't have a boss. Yes, you do. You got however many orders you have in-house, that's how many bosses you have. And they want it on time. They want it clean. Yeah. So you kind of trade one boss for 20 bosses. I hope you have that much work in-house. I hope you have that many orders, all right, on your wall. But it is working for yourself. It's got some downsides. Did I shower today? Or more disturbing, when did I last shower? Here's another one. How long have I been wearing these sweats? And here's another one. When we go out, when we leave the house, I'm going to shower. I'm going to put on clean clothes. Not that I don't shower daily. I do, but it still is funny. You start going out in your shop clothes. So, right. So you're hitting the post office in sweats that have seen better days, right? Or your sweats are a menu of your last project, right? Little antique, little dye, maybe a little top coat, maybe some contact cement. Maybe you have some clothes that are glued together. Anyway, and your pets, yeah, you're going to start talking to your pets and they're not going to respond. So it's great, absolutely, but it can be a little lonely as well. It can be and I see that because you don't get the water cooler, right? I don't know, hanging out at the water cooler. I miss a lot at Weaver simply because I'm not there. You're talking to people in the hall or at somebody's office. It's a great way to go, but it has a little bit of a downside. Anyway, okay, let's do this because that clock is just ticking away. Let's see. Davina Havanik. Yeah, those happy fumes. Yeah. If you breathe enough fumes, you're going to be happy with that project. It doesn't matter how bad it came out. You're going to be happy with it. Right. And a lot of other things for a little bit. And then it's time to pay the piper. I'm not advocating that. Keep it right. Ventilation, ventilation, ventilation. I'm not advocating breathing the fumes, though I have. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Dawn Green. This is actually a very good point, Dawn. The ones who know good quality leather never ask the price. I only have bought from Weaver and people appreciate the quality. Well, first off, Dawn, thank you. I'm glad you feel that way. And from me and 350 people at Weaver, thank you for that. Big thank you. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And on that, we're going to segue over. Ooh, smooth. Right. Product of the week, our Shaheen leather natural veg strap. This is all I got left in my shop. I love this leather. It almost carves itself. Step. If you case it, you'll never have more luck and more beautiful work than you will with the Sheen leather. And I want to throw in the Herman Oak there as well. Here's the downside for us crafters: profit, not the motivation. We're in it for the joy of the craft. This is an expensive piece of leather. We have an alternative. You can buy smaller pieces. We've got a panel, 12 by 24. Your per price foot, your per foot price. Ooh, Chuck's nailing it today. Anyway, it's going to be much more. The thing is, we don't have to buy a full side to get to use some of this leather. And if you're new to carving or stamping, or you've been at it a little while and you haven't jumped up to a piece of a quality tannage like this, you're going to flip. Because, and I've said this several times, your work's going to look better without any increase in your skill level simply because of the material that you're working in. With the Sheen and the Herman Oak, if you case this properly, even wetting it, I mean, you can wet it, give it 15 minutes, but if you case it properly, when you hit that stamp, you're going to pull up and go, wow. You can see every detail in that stamp. Now, I love our single shoulders. I love our double shoulders. I love our V-cut. It's great leather, but there's no comparison. We did a video on the comparison of tooling, carving between, I think I used the Shaheen and just a basic single shoulder. And the single shoulder looked good, absolutely. But then when you take it aside and look at the Shaheen or Herman Oak, it's a world of difference. It really is. And when you put the two side by side, I'm not even gonna stamp or carve on that anymore. That's the point. When you reach up to a quality tannage, it's all the difference in the world. It really is. So, product of the week, our Shaheen natural strap leather. I love it. I absolutely love it. Makes your work look better, again, without any increase in your skill level. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Before every live, I think, you know what? I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna go off the comments. And then I'll get on a roll. Anyway, all right. Okay, so notes from the boss. Today's the last day to save 15%. That's a chunk on the Shaheen leather holster leather. It's almost exactly the same thing, except it's already dyed. We don't have to dye it. 4 beautiful colors. I just used the brown, the chocolate brown. Yeah, in the holster leather video. Just I think it was just a leather element. I know, pardon me. I've done so many videos now. I'm starting to forget what I've done. I mean, recently, I'm forgetting what I've done. Anyway, saving 15% off on the Shaheen holster leather. Love it. It's just like this. It's just like this, only pre-dyed. We don't have to dye it, and it will absolutely take our stamping and our antique and our top coat and our paint and our edging. It'll do all of it. But that chocolate brown, that's my favorite. Anyway, among 85 other favorites, that's my favorite. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, all right, we've got that. Let's see. Did that. I think we've got everything done here. Oh, and 6 minutes to go. Yeah, stretch. So let's do this. At least with the last 6 minutes, I'm gonna look at some comments over here. Bricksbury, I have a show this Saturday, and pricing has been my biggest trouble. Okay, a little help there. Do your best on your first show to put a price on that. And I'm bad about thinking, okay, what would I pay for this? Wrong. I should not do that. because we know what went into it. And we're going to think, oh, and I got to charge, and I got to charge, and I got to try to look at it as if you, it's hard to do this, but if you saw that in another booth, what's it worth to you? Try to put your leather experience knowledge behind you. I like that. What would I pay for that? Okay. Now, here's the second bit of help here because your first show, it's going to be iffy. Absolutely. But the second time you do a show, now you know people are going to look at your products and you're going to look at them. You'll watch people. I mean, don't, stand there. Another big, don't stand behind people. Don't, right. I know there's so much I want to say. I'm just trying to get all this out. Let people look, you know, don't try to shadow them. And every time that, on the, when they pick up a product on this one, I did this and I did that. And then let them shop, let them look, but you'll see them. They'll look at a project. You think, oh, hey, this is pretty nice. And then they'll look at the price tag and you can tell from their expression, reasonable or, yeah, it's too much or something's right. That's too low. You're going to get the feel for what people will pay for your projects. Another point, the second time you do that show, that same show next year, people are going to buy, you're going to do a little bit better in sales because psychologically, people see you again. Now you've got your credence. You're not a fly by night that they're going to buy something, you'll never see them again, right? Or they'll never see you again. So it gives you credence that you're there again. Now they're going to come by. They may remember something they saw they didn't get. I do that all the time. Why didn't I buy that? So biggest problem there is you may never see it again. If you see something, you love it, you don't buy it, may never see it again. But the second time you do that particular show, you're going to have better sales because people now have seen you there. But that first show, you're going to get a feel for what people are going to pay, what they like, what they look at, what they don't look at. And you're going to start to develop a list of things that sell and things that don't. So the next show, you'll be a little better. Third, fifth, sixth, 10th show. By that point, you know what's selling. Your tables are full of stuff that people are going to look at and they're priced at the point where people are going to pay. I know, God, I'm just rolling on this. On the other side of that, if we want to put a whole bunch of work into something that people aren't even looking at, we're wasting our time. Or we're going to really jazz up something that they may look at that and that's just too much. I know I'm all over the place on this because there's a quantity sells. I've always heard this and now I believe it. If I've got, say on my bench, I've got, I don't know, 2 coin purses. So many people will look at it, but if I've got 10 out there, they're going to sell. Something psychologically, people look at that, go, they've got a lot of them. People must be buying them. I need to get one. I don't hold me to that, but I've always heard that and I've actually seen it. I've seen it work. So, you'll do a show. You'll learn all this. All of this will come to you. And one of the great things it shows, you always have neighbors and they're always super friendly. I always say, hey, booth neighbors, on both sides, they're always friendly. And through those folks, you'll get tricks, you'll get tips. But here's the biggest thing you'll get from the other people at the show. We're the best shows. We're the crappy shows. We're the shows that nobody sells anything. We're the shows that are absolutely packed. They've got good advertising. The aisles are full of people all 3 days or 2 days. You'll learn all this. Maybe my best advice here is just do your show. Price it as best you can and do your show. And after your show, you're going to come back with all kinds of great knowledge, what sells, what doesn't. How much is too much? How much is too? You'll get that. You'll get that. You'll get that. And you'll meet some great people. And you'll get a big boost to your confidence because people will come by your booth and go, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, and I love that. And you'll see. Maybe 9 out of 10 people, they're not leather crafters. But once in a while, somebody will come, maybe not even a leather crafter, but somebody that knows, has a little experience with leather. Yeah, they're going to stay and they're going to talk and you're going to have a great time with that. So, okay, y'all, I'm going to get down to the bottom here because we just blasted through this hour. Why doesn't work go this fast? I don't know. Oh, Don Green, I had someone tell me I didn't charge enough, saying the journal I made him is an heirloom. Always struggled till then. Maybe a little now, but not as much. Okay. Don, it sounds like you've done some shows and you're starting to get a feel. Excellent. Don. Thank you for tossing that in there. Let's see, Diane Lagrange. I also struggle with cutting a straight line. I can help there because in the back of my mind, I've seen a number of comments lately about folks having trouble cutting. I think I can offer some help there. So let me, straight lines, curves, thinner weights can be a problem. Stretchy leathers, let me jot that down. Cutting tips. I'm going to do that. And I also I stress over sometimes, but like shop tricks, I'll put a shop trick in a video that I know we did, but it's like, I don't know how many years ago. Are we going to struggle to find that, or let's just do it again? Let's just put it out. It's kind of a struggle anyway. Bridget, thank you. Bridget does some shows. Her advice is gold. It absolutely. Good. I should just, like I say, drive the bus. Y'all party in the back. I'll just keep us between the lines and I'll get us there. I'll drive us to 4:00. Y'all party in the back. All right. Sounds like a mullet. I had a mullet. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, y'all, I can't believe how fast this hour goes by. Absolute pleasure, just like last week. It's an absolute pleasure spending time with y'all. I hope you got something great on your work. I hope you got something on your workbench that you're excited about. That's what makes that's what makes a project worth getting down to that shop and working on it. Just something to be excited about. Hallelujah on that one. Y'all, I just want to keep looking and looking. Yeah, J2G Design. Y'all, I'm just going back through all these. Y'all, great tricks and tips. Y'all, thank you for putting all these in there. Absolutely. Y'all, thank you for that. Helping everybody out. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. I feel like I'm working into your time now. We'll get together in 2 weeks. We'll do this again. I'll do my best to have something great to look at, something good to talk about, something interesting, hopefully something helpful. But I hope it's worth your time. I really do. I know I'm so dry after last week. I'm just trying to drink enough water. Anyway, I'm not beside the point. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making this what it is. Highlight of my week. So we'll see y'all in 2 weeks. I'll do my best to come up with something good to talk about. We'll have a good giveaway, and I will get that gift on its way. Absolutely. So y'all have a good 2 weeks. Have a great evening. Second half of your week. I don't want to leave. It's like I'm stretching because I just love y'all more than you know and love spending time with y'all. Everybody have a great evening. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Love y'all. Oh, good luck with your project. All right. Bye, y'all.